She was raised in a small church since childhood, and had been shielded from the horrible truth of what lay out there in the real world. Oli, the priest who had looked after her, was old, sick, and very weak. Too weak, in fact, to continue his profession. At the age of just 18, she discovered that the funding was becoming scarce, as the human population kept turning away from religion. People began to worship money more than God himself, and turned their backs on the principles by which their ancestors had lived. The church had been her home for so many years, was due to be shut down. Mika had never felt so helpless in her life, and she knew that if something wasn't done soon, they would lose everything. Being a lady, she was not allowed to succeed Oli and become a priestess, so she soon ran out of options. She had tried many jobs, but she just seemed to fail miserably no matter what she did. Mika had tried everything, from serving tables to delivering papers, but none of this would be enough to keep the church and Oli alive. One day, on her way back to the church from one of her jobs, she overheard a conversation. Don Vittorio had paid Oli a visit. Mika had hid behind the holy water fountain at the front of the entrance of the church, so she could listen to Oli and Vittorio without them noticing her presence. She learned that Vittorio, a known mafia boss, was offering to help Oli keep the church in exchange for Mika's services. He wanted to hire Mika to conduct business that could not be handled by men, and would not take no for an answer. Oli kept refusing by explaining that Mika was not suited for such a lifestyle, and that being naive would just bring her to an early grave, not to mention the ways of the mafia went against everything he had tried to teach her. Vittorio was growing tired of the conversation, and since he truly believed that actions speak louder than words, he pulled out his Beretta 93 semi-automatic and exclaimed, "Father, don't make me desecrate this church. You must understand that these are tough times, and your principals won't get your daily bread no more. Just lend me his services to me for a week, and I'll save this church, and return her to you without so much as a scratch on her forehead." "No, no, Vittorio, I cannot let you rob this child of her innocence," said Oli. "All right then, I'll leave the choice to Mika. Be warned, if I don't see her at my door by Monday, the offer is off, and the government will shut you down, you foolish old man. Don't you see that this world does not care for God? The people you are trying to save would just leave you here to rot and die. Don't let Mika live like you. What future could she have?" said Vittorio as he scurried towards the exit.